have to go to the next segment of the show.
He's doing something. Here he goes.
I'm so excited today. I'm so excited.
Oh, here we go.
Because Miss Delilah is talking about my second favorite player.
There you go.
My favorite running back ever.
There you go.
The longest running segment on the round table, Diversity with Delilah.
There you go.
And we were doing Barry Sanders. Let's go.
And so let me, Detroit, I love you. I know I'm so sorry that this is happening this season. It basically, I saw the stats. You haven't had this losing streak since 2008. So sorry about that. So I thought, all right, let me talk about one of the greatest running backs, to ever play the game. I don't know if y'all know, but him and Sweetness had a friendly rivalry. It wasn't. They actually loved each other, respected each other, and that's a whole other story. But yeah, they had a very good friendly rivalry. Anyway, so as we know, I don't know if we know, but Barry Sanders, born and raised in Wichita, Kansas. Even in high school, he was basically ready for greatness. His brother was also in the same high school as he was, because his brother actually also, I don't know if you guys know, he actually went on. He didn't have as a good of a career as Barry Sanders, but he played ball and stuff. So Sanders, when he started his football career in high school, he went in as a tailback his sophomore year, because his brother Byron was started before him in that position. So so he was always behind his brother before his brother went off. Mm-hmm. Sanders didn't become the starting running back until his fourth game of his senior year. But even then, he rushed for 1,417 yards. Yeah. Exactly. Right? Exactly.
Wow.
In the final 7 games of that season, which earned him All-State honors,
Sure.
Yeah, so during the 7-game span, this is the 7 games, by the way, Sanders averaged, 10.2 yards per carry. But even with that, he was overlooked by most college recruiters. Mm-hmm. And even though he was a stellar athlete, he didn't receive a lot of scholarships from a lot of universities. He received scholarships from Emporia State University, Iowa State, University of Tulsa, and then, of course, we know Oklahoma State, right? Right. So, exactly, he's wearing the jersey. So, he chose Oklahoma, the Oklahoma State Cowboys. That's, from he was there from 86 to 88. He wore number 21 in his first 2 years. He actually backed up another All-American, Thurman Thomas, right? So he
Thomas.
Yeah, he was in good company.
Yeah.
In 1987, when he actually took over, right, he led the nation in yards per kickoff return, while also rushing for over 600 yards and scoring 8 touchdowns, including 4 on special teams returns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was just, that was while Thomas was there, right? So he kind of, when Thomas left, right, his junior year, that's when Sanders became a starter. And that was in 1988. He completed what is considered one of the greatest individual seasons in college football history, rushing for 2,850 yards, 42 touchdowns in 12 games. That was exactly. Yeah. That was him as a starter. Right? So, of course, he was awarded, the Heisman Trophy as the most outstanding college player in the nation, and was unanimously recognized as an All-American. Sanders led the nation by averaging 7.6 yards per carry and over 200 yards per game, including rushing for over 300 yards in 4 games. Despite his massive workload of 344 carries, Sanders was still used as a team's punt and kickoff returner. Mm-hmm. So he wasn't just running back. They were still like, all right, we're going to keep you here too.
We need you.
Right. Adding another 516 yards on special teams. Also, a game that people don't really look at, but still, Sanders also ran for 222 yards and scored 5 touchdowns in 3 quarters of action in the 1988 Holiday Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Against Wyoming.
A game that's it's not official. It's not included in the NCAA stats, but still pretty darn impressive. So these are his records that still stand. Most rushing yards in the season, right? We have over 2,000 yards. Most rushing touchdowns in a season with 38. So he most touchdowns in general, right? Because we know that, right? Well, the thing is that we know that talented running backs can also act as a receiver, right? We know that they also get some passes. So in that regards, he has 39, which is tied with Monte Ball. Most rushing for 300 plus yards in a season. So he basically left a whole bunch of records that still are haven't been broken in college. Then he was drafted by the Detroit Lions in 1989 in the first round. Yeah, he was 1989. He went the first round in the number 3 pick. And what happened in 1989? The same thing that's been happening since this guy was in high school. He just excelled, right? So in 1989, he had an immediate impact with the NFL's. He won Rookie of the Year that year. And why? Like in his debut, right? He went on to I'm sorry, still choking. Yeah, so basically
Sean wouldn't change, that's why.
Oh, okay.
All right, now he's got the Lions jersey on, right?
Through his 10 seasons in Detroit, right? He averaged over 1,500 rushing yards per season, right? In 1997, he became the third player to rush for over 2,000 yards in one season, and was named the NFL Most Valuable Player. That's where he got co-MVP with Green Bay quarterback at the time, Brett Favre. Unfortunately, we know he unexpectedly retired in 1998. He was just shy 1,457 yards short of breaking Sweetness' all-time rushing record. That's why a lot of people didn't want him to retire yet, because they wanted to see if he could catch up to Sweetness or break that record. But he retired.
But that shows his true greatness, David. Talking about Emmitt Smith, his true greatness is that he didn't need the record. Because he was greater than the record.
See, that's the thing too, though. A lot of people believe, and I don't know, again, I don't know that it's true or whatever, but a lot of people think because of Barry's reverence for Walter, that he got out before he could break the record.
Yeah. Well, this is what he said. You're actually right.
Oh, he would have broken it. Yeah.
This is what he said. Yeah. So he said, he was quoted, and he has a biography. He said when asked about the Sweetness's record, I never valued it. The career rushing yardage record so much that I thought it was worth my dignity or Walter's dignity to pursue it amid so much media and marketing attention.
Yes.
Right. And that's why I said, like, I don't think people realize like how much of friends that they actually were. And even though they were
close. And again, think about it. They never played in the league at the same time.
No.
Walter retired in 87 and Barry didn't come until 89. But
so
they still had a great friendship, right, and a great respect for each other.
Yeah. So Sanders was inducted into basically every Hall of Fame you could think of.
Sure, absolutely. Right. Well, deservedly so.
Yeah, yes. The Kansas Sports Hall of Fame in 1998, College Football Hall of Fame in 2003, Michigan Sports Hall of Fame that same year. His number 20 jersey was retired by the Lions that same year. He was also inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2004.
Yeah.
Why? Because the 10 seasons he was there, he went 10 times to the Pro Bowl. Right?
10 times for every year.
His career total was 15,269 rushing yards with 109 touchdowns. For the 10 seasons he was there, he had over 1,000-yard seasons, right? And so, it's just like, I just have to respect, right? I have to respect the fact that he was a man, and he really, he put in that time, and he put in that, he was, he really made a big impact on the sport, right? Sanders was also included into the National Football League 110th, anniversary all-star team, that they did. Yeah. Within that, by the way, because I know he was talking in that same category, he was there with Jim Brown, Walter Payton, and Emmitt Smith. Happy, David?
David, you better be banned in the comments.
He was on the 100th all-star. No, come on, David. I have nothing but love for Emmett, but you can't be a hater on Barry either, though, if you're a real football fan.
Come on now.
No, we can hate on Emmitt Smith.
He didn't have the Great Wall of Dallas. Okay?
Right.
Let's go. He had Scott Mitchell as his quarterback. Don't tell me about Emmett. Come on now.
Well, that's my argument with Walter Payton, right? Like, look at the line he had.
The guy in Oklahoma.
Like Reeve Story and
I read all the stats.
And like, who are these guys? And
right.
His quartquarterbacks were like Bob Avellini.
Yeah, and basically, and that is what they're saying.
Finally got Jimmy Mack, but come on.
Something that follows Sanders, that's what they say. It's like, to be one of the greatest players of all time and not have a Super Bowl win is like, ugh.
Well, he's their only playoff
win.
Get there. The last time they won a playoff game, or the only time was with
Barry Sanders. No, I know, but that was it. But no.
When Barry was still playing, so there you go.
David, I have mad respect for Emmitt Smith.
Yeah, well, we can.
Yeah, I know.
It's okay. We know. Dallas,
yeah, no, I know, David. I'm just not. Look, Evan, he's sweet. Look, he even went on to win Dancing with the Stars. I was rooting for him, and he won. I watched that season. I was like, go Emmett. But anyway, no. So Barry Sanders, you, man, like, kudos to you. And I honestly, that's, when you read that quote, he really did retire just so he can allow Walter to keep his rushing yard record. Because Sweetness is a little personal. I don't know if I could talk about him on this show, but we'll see. I'll get there. I'll work my way up there with it.
It's therapy for you too, Delilah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, but for sure, Anthony. Oh my God, I don't know why I say. Because I saw his last name. Yeah, no, Anthony. I talked about his Oklahoma stats. That's one of the first things. Was him being a monster in Oklahoma. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Barry Sanders, you're one of the goats.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, you already know what it is. Here it is, right there on my back. College and pro jerseys, no doubts. That's why I try to stick with my winless Lions. Oh, the curse is still on. The curse is still on.
It is
and
still
speaking of curse.